Got some red wigglers. They need another layer. Just some paper. Get this right out of the Amazon shipping boxes. You see, I got a layer down there ready. Here's their current home. And of course, I am doing this one-handed, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. Just like that. What are you doing out there? You eating my firewood? What you doing, boy? Okay, so next we've got some coconut core. I think it's pronounced coconut coir, but man, it really just does not come off the tongue very nice. Letting this soak, and it's quickly falling apart. When it does, I will wring it out and put it in there on top of that moistened paper. See you in a few minutes. All right, y'all. So this is going to be their new home with their new food. It's going to go right up here on top. This bottom one where the worms are now are going to move up into the food area, because this one down here is almost all castings, which is what we want. That's pure gold right there. That's what we want. Vermiculture. So what we did was we put some coconut core in some water, and you can see it is that tiny little block. Really soaks it up. Whew, it's cold. And I put some paper down here, wet paper, which the worms will eat through as they come up. Kind of holds the coconut core up in there. But they'll eat through that pretty easily. So let's go ahead and get that done. So what's really important is going to be getting the water out of the coconut core. So you can't see it on camera right now, but I am getting a big old handful with some gloves on because it's cold out here. And I'm squeezing. And then when it comes in, it's drier. Now it's still wet, it's still damp, but it's squeezed out damp. You do not want this to be soaking wet. That is not a good habitat for your worms. You'll find that it will get moldy. You don't want that. Just like that, we're gonna toss it around. Hopefully the way I got the camera set up, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I didn't bring my gear out with me today. The cell phone holder that I've got just broke. It's been out here in the shop, and it's ice cold today. It's below freezing, and I guess the plastic was brittle. Went to clip it, and it just busted in half. So had to kind of rig it with alligator clips. Right now, I am squeezing the coconut core. Coconut coir, weird name. I heard people say coconut coir, core, choir, kiar. I actually heard a couple people saying kiar. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I'm American. I speak American. So you're going to hear me say words like coconut core in a very American way. Now they already have food in the other one. I'm going to pull some of that out too as well. But in this coconut core here, I'm going to put some apples. And they're kind of sitting in some oatmeal, so you'll see that kind of falling around. They do like that as well. And they will eat this stuff real good. Real good. I know, I hear you out there, but I ain't feeding you, I'm feeding worms. Your favorite food. And I've got some, if you're seeing that black stuff there, that is coffee grounds. These are fresh from this morning, still damp. They do love coffee grounds and tea as well. Tea bags are pretty good too as well. I don't have any tea bags today. I might make some sweet tea tomorrow, so if I do, I'll bring out the bags. So, you can also do this with wet paper towel as well. That also works. I would try and do stuff that's scent-free and chemical-free. So you know what your worms are eating. This step is not necessary. I just had some extra. Got a lot of extra. And eventually it'll turn into food for the worms. They'll eat pretty much everything in there that's edible. They won't eat metal and plastic, of course. But they will definitely eat anything paper-like. They'll eat that coconut core and paper, all the food, everything will rot out and they'll eat it. They don't have teeth, so one thing we like to do is use some of this ground up eggshells, which is just pure powderized calcium. Now, what does it do? Well, it helps break up the food for them. Worms don't have teeth. They're basically rubbing up against it, the food, and the calcium powder is kind of like an aggregate. It helps grind up the food against their bodies, and then they're able to absorb it better. I really want to get some of that calcium down where the food is, so I'm going to put that down there, flip it over. You don't have to be neat about this. The worms don't care how neat it is, but I've seen people make like little sleeping areas, and look, honestly, just put the stuff in there, feed them, and let them do their job. Don't love on your worms too much. It's something that I heard a long time ago, and I have been successful. Now, my first run through last year been successful, and they make some of the best. And you know, a couple years ago, had I thought that I would be raising worms so that I can use their poop, you know, as a fertilizer, I never would have guessed it. I never would have guessed it. I don't have a strainer out here, so I think I got pretty much all of the core that I need. I'll put a little bit more of this calcium powder, which, by the way, we make ourselves. The eggs from the chickens, the eggshells, every time we crack them, we collect them, we boil them to sanitize them, then we bake them until they're crispy and dried out, and then we grind them into a powder. It can be used for lots of different things, including human consumption. It's a great source of calcium, but it's also really good in your garden. Plants love it. Oh yeah, I got some of this. Got some of these other oats. These, I believe, are the stone ground. Expensive. We've got to eat them. They went bad. Now they're going to the worms for food. The hardest part, honestly, today, is trying to figure out how I'm going to film this for you guys. Okay, so here's the worms that I've been talking about. Look at them. Look at them. You know what I'm saying? They're out here in this sub-freezing weather, 10 degrees today, and they're just alive and doing their things. It's really fantastic, man. Okay, just like that. This used to look like the food we just made. You might even be able to see some remnants of some of the bananas. Here we go. No, it's an apple. That's an apple peel that they've been eating. That was a whole apple at one time, not just a peel. Here's remnants of a banana. See, right there. They just eat it. Here's another remnant of a banana. See, they eat it right down to nothing. They just grind it away. Here's a piece of apple. That was a whole apple. I put in whole apples. I don't put leftovers. I give my worms whole apples. Chop them up into slices just like little kids, and they eat them. That's the sifter down there. It's a homemade sifter I built to sift this out and get the castings. Most of this right here is castings. This is absolute gold for your plantings, for your garden. Just gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of these rotten pieces. I'm going to put them in here. This is food that they will go after. And it also helps the microbes and stuff that are in here. It will help this new batch here to start to, break down. And the worms, they will always go where the food is. Always. That's the miracle of it. That's nature doing what it does. They could run off if they want to. They could probably sneak out of this containment, but they don't, because I'm always feeding them. Here's a cluster right here. Look at this. Look at this. That is a cluster. That's mating happening right there. You're watching mating happening. Right there. Look at that. Beautiful. Some kind of it's a stem. It's a stem from an apple. They'll eat it. It'll break down and they'll eat it. Now, I'm not hurting them right now. I'm being very, very gentle, barely even touching this. Just moving them around and digging deep to see what it's like under there. And having a look. I'm really also looking for eggs, which are these little cocoons, pods. And I don't have my glasses on, but they're in there. They're definitely in there. Now, it is wintertime, very cold. So it might take a little bit of warming up before they start to do that process. Oh, here we go. There's a cocoon right there. See? Right there. That's a worm cocoon. I think there might be another one there. Yeah, there we go. That's another one there. See? I love worms. And I love what they do for the garden. I really do. Just love it. Maybe we'll put some of this in here with some worms as well. I don't want to put too much though, because this is the castings. This is the reason why I'm raising worms, is for this black stuff right here. Once all these worms go up to the top one, this one here, then they will evacuate this area down here, and I will sift it out, and almost all of this will be castings. Look at that. I started with 2,500 worms, and they just keep on going. Beautiful. Beautiful thing. There we go. Let's just get this all nice and flattened out, like this. That bucket's going to sit right on top of that dirt, where the holes are. So, the holes under here are going to sit right on top of the dirt. Just like that. See, nests in there. Yeah, so what I'll do is, once they're finished with this layer down here, then I'm going to put it through the sifter right here. It'll be almost all castings, and dry it out, put it into a container, and it will be ready for the garden. I'll actually be using it for my plantings, which are happening now in the house, in the grow room. So it'll be for the seedlings. Let's put the top back on and let them do their thing. Let's see if we got any under here. Oh yeah, there's one. There's another couple right there. And there's coconut coir underneath these little holes here, under the lid. And it sort of helps with airflow and moisture and wicking and stuff like that. Made by VEVOR, and I like it. I'm having a lot of success with it so far. I like to leave this open. I've never actually used it. You can see the cup is dry. I like to leave this open here in case any drippings come down from the worms. And that's worm juice, also good for the garden, but I haven't produced any yet. So I just keep this wide open like that. Yeah, I know, you look mad. You look mad. Got the truck warming up. Oh, look who's in the truck. Ozzy. What you doing in there, boy? Ozzy wants to go for a ride. Heading up to the bee yard. Gotta check on a tree that I downed. Grab the mail while I'm up there and a few other things. So, see you later.